Peace, family. I've been doing a lot of juicing here on my channel and in my day-to-day life. I've heard practically every negative statement you could imagine about juicing and why we shouldn't do it. But nonetheless, in today's video, I want to talk about some of the critiques of juicing and perhaps clear up some of the misconceptions about juicing while we make some fresh juice together. In today's video, I'll be using the Kuvings Auto 10 juicer. If you're interested, I will have a link in the description and pinned in the comment section where you can save 10% at checkout. Our first recipe, I'll be using 4 Honeycrisp apples, a little over a handful of the muscadine grapes. They have an amazing, robust flavor to it, sour yet sweet, tangy, some key lime, and a thumb of ginger. First up, let's talk about fiber. I've heard a lot of people say that juicing removes all the fiber, and that's bad for digestion. But here's the deal, while juicing does separate most of the insoluble fiber, the juice still contains soluble fiber, which is great for feeding healthy gut bacteria and slowing down sugar absorption. Plus, when you juice, you're getting a concentrated dose of minerals and antioxidants, way more than you get eating the fruits and vegetables whole. Has a beautiful color on it. Wow, this is a banger. Now, I'm not saying that juicing is better than eating fruits and vegetables as is. What I am saying that juicing and removing that fiber is a great option and possibly a better choice depending on where you're at or where you plan to go within your journey. A lot of people suffer from constipation and aren't able to regulate their bowel movements. So that's a scenario where you want to remove the fiber, at least much of the fiber. Remember, there's still fiber in there and it's gonna be easier to pass through your system. Juicing is a perfect option for those who want to give their digestive system a rest. Removing the fiber can allow the body to work more efficiently so it doesn't have to work hard to break down foods. And then it's able to effectively spread out that nutrients and minerals and delegate it to other areas without further backing up certain systems. Another thing I hear is that juicing is expensive and wasteful. It depends on where you're shopping at and the cost of produce, as that can always fluctuate. But if you're someone who seeks out specialty ingredients like me, like burdock root, Asian pears, it can get a little pricey, especially even the organic watermelons, but I've been able to find some pretty good deals as of late at farmers markets. I also look out for produce that's on sale. Typically, seasonal produce is at a lower cost than produce that's not in season. I've also found that buying in bulk can save you money as well. Now, juicing doesn't have to be wasteful. Even though we're removing the fiber, I always save the fiber. This I will eventually turn into perhaps a powder. Given that this is fruit, I can also use this for baked goods. I can re-add it to smoothies. Like if I'm leaning more towards vegetable produce, I would use it to prepare a vegetable broth. You can also turn certain vegetables into a powder and make a seasoning out of it if you have a dehydrator or within your oven on a low setting. I also have a little compost bin in the back. But juicing doesn't have to be wasteful. Reusing the pulp, you just have to be intentional, maybe think ahead of what you plan to do. Now, let's talk about the juicer itself. Investing in a high quality juicer like the Kuvings Auto 10 can save you a lot of money in the long run. It's designed to extract the maximum amount of juice from your produce, ensuring that you're getting the most from your fruits and vegetables. Cheaper, low-budget juicers may seem like a good deal up front at first, but you just don't want to invest in something that is going to leave a lot of juice behind, or the warranty is sketchy, something happens and you're not able to get a replacement. Those are things you have to be mindful of that can start to rack up the cost in your juicing experience. This is $699, but it has a 15-year warranty. So think about it. Paying $700 for something that you will have for 15 years doesn't sound too bad, but that's just me. Our next recipe, I think many will love this one. Sweet crisp lettuce. If you can't find sweet crisp lettuce, romaine lettuce will work. Dandelion greens, cucumber, and we could throw in another of the cosmic red apples. If you're brave enough, leave this out, along with 1 key lime and another thumb of ginger. So let's tackle 2 big concerns we have with juicing. A lot of folks worry that juicing is just too high in sugar, especially when it's fruit heavy, and that it could cause blood sugar spikes. Here's the truth though. While it's easy to go overboard on fruit, the sugars in juice are natural and come with a bunch of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that your body needs. Unlike processed sugars, these natural sugars are absorbed more slowly, especially when you balance your juice with low glycemic veggies like dandelion greens, the cucumber, fennel. We have our lettuce. These are low glycemic. Always keep in mind that sugar you get from fruit and vegetables compared to processed sugars hits different. The key difference is their health impact. Fruit sugars come with nutrients, whereas processed sugars often lead to unhealthy weight gain, diabetes, and blood sugar spikes. And the fact remains that no one ever became overweight or developed diabetes from consuming fruit. You stick to nature, you're good. I'm not saying overload on fruits. You still have to maintain balance. That's what we're showing here. For even more stability, remember, try pairing your juice with ginger, lemons, or limes. They are good options to help regulate insulin, slow down blood sugar absorption, and keep your blood sugar levels steady. Healthy, smells good. So let's go ahead and see what's going on. Yeah, I'm telling you that this is the move to make. Nothing that says it's gonna expire 3 to 6 months down the road. We don't want that. Return to chef. We want it fresh. For our last juice, I'm gonna make yellow watermelon juice. This is probably the last of the watermelons that I'll see this summer. I have another one in the fridge, but I'm just gonna eat that as is to enjoy it, but we're gonna juice this one. Wow, so this melon is super small, but I ain't even mad because I got it for $4. As long as it's still good. Okay, they said this was a yellow watermelon. I got red. It looks like there are seeds though. As long as I got seeds, I'm okay with that. Red, yellow, it don't even matter. Give me the seeds. Another thing people say about juicing is that it isn't filling and that it leads to overeating later. Overeating isn't always about how much you can fill your stomach up. A large part of hunger stems from dehydration. Start to exclude food, you start to see that it's easy to sustain and feel satisfied as long as you're properly hydrated and you're able to detoxify the body. A large part of hunger many people have today is due to parasitic behavior, an overwhelming population of parasites in the body. So you start to crave for certain foods and start to overeat. And here's the thing, juice doesn't have to be filling. This can be a part of your meal or something that you have in between meals to get that nutrients. We're not always looking to be filled and stuffed because you're not going to get that from juicing. But I will say, if you give it that time, you can feel satisfied. Finally, I've heard people tell me that juicing isn't sustainable long term, but guess what? You don't have to juice every day. I'd say I juice 3 to 5 times out of the week, which I usually start Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And it's a great way to instill discipline, you know, but yeah, it doesn't have to be long term. You just gotta figure out what works for your lifestyle and adapt to that. There are days where I consume juice only, but then there's also days where I just combine it with whole foods. So there you have it. Juicing isn't just about drinking liquid fruits and vegetables. It's about enhancing your overall health in a way that works for you and finding another means to get the nutrients, the minerals, the vitamins from our produce in a different way. In some cases, in a better way, depending on your situation and your circumstance. If you enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit the like. If you didn't, feel free to hit the unlike. It is what it is. And be sure to check out my blog going over information of what we discussed today. Until next time, peace, God.